Alright guys, I have the Nextorch V35X carry here, and this one was designed specifically for the Nextorch TA20 and TA30C, okay? So it has to have this sort of holster, not holster, but the FR1 ring on there, because it actually locks in, as you can see. So if I try to pull it out of the holster, okay, it won't come out, okay? It might be on this side, for example, even. Has to be sort of in the middle section for you to pull out the torch. Okay, so very easy. What I like about this holster is that it's just so simple to remove and put the light back in. Okay, it's also got this mechanism on the back here, which you just pull out, which allows you to rotate the light. So say if I just wanted to have the light facing this way and turned on, so hands free, I can just walk around in this fashion and see what is going on. Okay. This would also come in handy if you wanted to point the light at the roof, for example. Okay, this is on in the medium setting. Oh, actually, that's on the high setting. Okay. And this is just with it attached in my pocket, in my belt. It's actually a really handy feature. Okay, so bring it back on. What you can do as well is you can lock it in place, and now it's not rotatable. Okay, once it's locked in place, you just pull that out basically to unlock it and shift that light around. Oops, like that. Okay, it's got to be pulled out fully, otherwise the lock will engage. But yeah, can have it pointed at the ceiling. That's probably not going to work actually, because it's just too close to your body. So I would say the main purpose is, yeah, just to have it oriented forward, okay, like that. You might have one here on the side, and you might be holding another light, for example. I'd say this is probably the easiest one to use out of all the new Nextorch holsters, just because, I don't know, the mechanism to remove the light and put it back in is just so simple. There's nothing to unclip, okay? So quite like it. Unfortunately, it only fits 2 flashlights, okay, the TA20 and the TA30C, okay. On this side here, I have got the Nextorch V55X carry. Now, there's 2 versions of this. There's the V55 and the V55L. So I'll just show you that they're basically the same design, except the V55L is for larger diameter flashlights, mainly 21-700 cell flashlights. Now, basically how it works is that you have this locking mechanism here on the side, so you unlock like that. It's like they call it like a quick unlock feature. Okay, when you have it locked in like that, the light doesn't move around, sort of feels more stable. Unlocked, it still holds the light, but a little bit looser. Now, when you have it unlocked, all you do is just basically pull the light out like that, and you have access to it, okay? Put it back in like that, lock it. Unlock, remove, okay? And the great thing is that it fits all types of lights, not just Nextorch flashlights, okay? So that's the benefit of this sort of design, I guess, compared to the V35X carry, which only takes a couple of Nextorch lights, okay? This one, all you do, yeah, like I said, you know, once you get used to it, it's actually pretty simple. You just almost whack it open like that. You know, you might be in a bit of a hurry to grab it. You can just whack it open, take the torch out, and activate it very quickly. In terms of actually not looking, putting it back in the holster without looking, don't know. I think you're going to have to sort of look at it in the beginning, okay? I like that you just have to apply a little bit of pressure as well, okay, before it goes in there. Okay, so even when it's unlocked like that, it still holds that light pretty safely, okay? But then, you know, locks completely like that. On the back of the holster, you've got this little thing here which disengages a locking mechanism, allowing the holster to spin around, okay, the light to spin around, okay, so there you go. So what this means is that you can activate the light and have hands-free use, okay. Now I have tried doing things like pointing it at the roof, but it's just too close to my face to be any proper use, just sort of blind use. So if I move it up around like this, for example, yeah, it's just too much. Just gets in my eyes, very annoying. But yeah, for basically, you know, just using on your hip, hands-free, it's fantastic, okay? And what you can do is also just lock it in place like that. So now it doesn't move at all. I'm actually using the Fenix PD35R for this particular demonstration, okay? You can see it moves around a little bit, but it will not go past the head, the diameter of the head, okay? There's a little thing here, basically, a little screw that you just undo, and this will adjust the tension between these two clip areas. So if you've got a light with a larger diameter, it's able to fit a light with a larger diameter. I've set it on the smallest diameter possible at the moment, okay? So let's put it back, you know, unlock this again so we can rotate it. And I really like, what I like about this rotation device is that it does require a little bit of force to move it around, okay? Not too much, but it feels very sturdy. It feels like if I'm just walking around, I hit it accidentally, like that or whatever, it's not going to just change the direction of the beam significantly, which I like. So bring it back to its normal position. Oops, undo that lock for a second, like that. Okay, just by my side, lock it in place. Okay, fantastic. I really like it. And the good thing is that it's universal, which wasn't the case with some other Nextorch holsters out there. Okay, so here we have the Nextorch V55L X-Carry. So this is the larger version of the other V55 X-Carry that I showed you before. And I've got the Nextorch T10L in here, tactical LEP, one of my most favorite flashlights. And it's basically the larger version of the previous, okay, one that I demonstrated, and it takes 21700 cell flashlights, pretty much any 21700 cell flashlight, little adjustment area here at the back, okay, that you can turn and basically adjust the tension between these two clipping points where it grafts onto the diameter, the tube of the flashlight. So if you've got a light that's a bit wider, you can loosen it a bit to fit. And that's what I really like about these holsters, because they are universal. So you can use a whole variety of lights in there. Okay, you can see it just clips onto my belt. Same sort of deal, you know, you got that clip there, undo that clip. Okay, it's so simple where you can just use your palm, okay, to open and close that clip. In fact, you don't even need to have that clip really, you know, closed if you don't want to. You can have it open like that, and there's still enough tension to hold that light in. See, I'm tugging at this thing, okay, but you really have to pull at it a little bit to get it out. Okay. Gotta love this light. Amazing. Okay, so when it comes time to put it back in the holster, okay, head in first and then the back in, okay? Pretty simple. Because the head area, sort of like the other version, holds the actual head of the light in there. And the great thing is that these new holsters that have this kind of cutout here at the bottom as well, as you can see. So, like I was demonstrating before, that allows you to then use the light while it's actually in the holster. We'll just lock it in the holster first. And again, we'll move this section at the back up like that to unlock it. So this is then easily rotatable, like this. Now I can have the light on in my pocket. Okay. This does look a bit ridiculous because it's an LEP light, but you know, hands-free use. I can walk around as long as I don't want to, you know, look at this, I can even just sort of angle it up. Feel a bit ridiculous here, sort of moving my hips around. But it works. I have to say it works. Okay. If you're moving really quickly, it's probably going to be annoying. Look at that. Going all over the place. But if you have a light that is maybe, you know, more floody, should be all good. Okay, so here I have the Nextorch V31. okay? And to me, it really is quite similar, resembles the V35 X-Carry, okay? It looks pretty much, I mean, it looks so similar to it, okay? The big difference is this belt clip here. In the old V31, you can see, you can actually adjust to accommodate for wider kind of belts, okay? But I find I don't really use this because this is already on the smallest belt setting, okay? Standard sort of belt setting as you have here. You know, I'm not gonna have a belt twice the diameter. I don't think many people have that. Unless you're attaching it to something on maybe like a vest or some other equipment, you know, the V31 is probably, you know, probably a good option, okay? But again, it only takes 2 lights. It takes the Nextorch TA20, the one that I have here, the Nextorch TA20, okay? And the TA30, TA30C as well. This is probably the most comfortable one to use and holster. You know, I'm not even looking at it. Oh, I did for a little bit, but definitely a lot easier than this one here. I mean, hard to say really. You know, to open it, take the light out, pretty simple. But to put it back into the holster, you kind of got to get the head in first, which for me is just a little bit easier if I look at it. I guess if you're using it pretty often, time and time again, that muscle memory is going to kick in and it's going to be a lot easier. Both of these feel pretty sturdy though, I have to say. Yeah. But there's this added efficiency of just not having an additional clip that locks it in, okay, with these, yeah, the V35 X-Carry and the V31. And just like the V35 X-Carry, you know, you've got this mechanism here in the back, pull out, okay, which unlocks it, and then you can rotate the light around, lock it back in again, and basically be able to use the light while it's in the holster. Now the TA20 does not have a mode selector ring on the back, which makes it pretty much impossible to use this light in your pocket unless you use that momentary tactical mode. Okay, might come in handy. I don't know if you work in security, you just have, you know, the light here on your hip like that. Okay, but I would say it's probably easier to just take that light out and use it. That way you've got it in your hand as well. But yeah, like you see here with the TA30C, that mode selector ring is available right on the rear, okay, which allows you to go select all these different modes, constant on mode. The bezel of the light also sticks out the front of both of these holsters, so there's no interference.